Hi everyone, I'm GREYMOND. I'm an OCD recovery coach. I've been helping people recover from OCD for the last 10 plus years. Before that, I recovered from severe OCD myself, and that prompted to help other people recover as well. My recovery rate is pretty high. I would say 90% of my clients recover from OCD. So today, what I wanted to talk to you about, and the reason actually, by the way, why 90% of my clients recover from OCD is because I have a very structured program. So as long as you are following the program, you will recover if you are thinking of becoming my client. And the clients that don't recover don't follow the program as it's intended. So if you're serious, if you want to do recovery work with me, my door's always open. But let's get started with today's video. So today I want to talk to you about the last step in fighting OCD. When you have gone through your original theme, so let's say you had harm OCD, for example. So you've gone through doing recovery work for it, you did ERP, you disregarded the thoughts, and the very last thought OCD tends to throw. And I see this probably in about 80% of the cases, if not more. It's not 100%, but it's about 80%. Maybe somewhere between 80 and 90, to be completely accurate. What I see is the person will start to fixate on what if I don't recover? What if this is not OCD? What if the depression that many feel when they're dealing with OCD doesn't go away? What if these thoughts are going to be here forever in the background? So it's OCD about OCD, and the person starts being afraid not so much of the content, because they've kind of worked through the ERP for the content, so they don't really care about the content so much, but just the fact of having the thoughts, getting new thoughts, they worry about that. And if you create importance in that, the brain will throw more of that at you. So before you were worried about specific fears, feeling that what if they're real? So your brain gave you more of that. Now you're just saying, I'm just afraid of the thoughts in general. I'm afraid of continuing to get thoughts. So your brain's going to send you more thoughts. That's what you're afraid of. See, the brain does the exact opposite of what you are what you are saying, because when you're saying I am scared, you're actually prompting it to warn you about things that you fear. So if you are saying I'm scared of getting more thoughts, your brain's like, well, I'll warn you, I'll send you more thoughts. So you need to do the opposite. You need to say, go ahead, send me more thoughts. I will work through them all, because now I know the secret of how to do it. Now I understand the process. I understand how this computer game works. So go ahead, send me all the thoughts. And your brain will tell you, well, what if it's going to stay for your entire life? What if this is not OCD? What if you never recover? Bob from, a Facebook group said you can't recover. So if he can't recover, you can't recover, and so on and so forth, right? Or my therapist said you can't recover. So if she said I can't recover, then I for sure can't recover, all this stuff, right? So what you need to do is to view it as OCD content. Doesn't matter. It could be about your original OCD, about OCD. Doesn't matter. It's intrusive thoughts we're choosing to disregard. Yep, sure, okay, OCD. I'll have it until I'm 90. All right then. And if you treat OCD about OCD the same way as you would as you treated your original theme, it will not stick, and you'll go through this phase, if you even feel it at all, very, very quickly. But if you start to power it up, take it seriously, then you'll get stuck. And I see people often, kind of get a little stuck on this stage, and I'm like, no, this is the same, this is still OCD. And they're like, oh, okay, all right. And then we kind of get through it. But it's, if you don't know and you start to ruminate about the process of recovery, and basically your rule has to be, any rumination in any way is OCD. Unless your house is actually on fire, then you can ruminate about it. But until you have actual, and I'm obviously exaggerating, but you need to have actual logical reason that a person without OCD would also find logical to ruminate. Otherwise, everything, including OCD about OCD, is just rumination, and it's setting you back. And a lot of people get this. Same with worrying about other mental illnesses. So what if this wasn't OCD all along? What if it's depression? What if I never get rid of depression? Any what if, right? Or it feels like I wouldn't, the feeling attached to it. Or I still have the thoughts. I still feel depressed. All of this will lift. But if you keep powering up any fear whatsoever, then it will stay until you stop powering it up. And you can do that today, tomorrow, and it takes a little while. Obviously, once you stop giving it fuel, it's still for a while running on existing fuel, but it will stop. So you just gotta stop powering it up as much as possible and give it time to die out without repowering it up a day later. So, and that's where the tracking of the time, like I always say, comes in. It's very important. And I do really advise you do that, especially in the last stages, because that 5 minutes an hour, 5 minutes an hour, 90 minutes a day, is 10 hours a week, and 10 hours a week. Look at it this way. If you had to learn a new skill and you've learned that new skill for 10 hours out of the week, you'd be professional in a few years. So it's enough to keep it in the forefront of your mind. So it does matter. 5 minutes an hour does matter. So that's why we need to track the time. And anything that's rumination counts, including OCD about OCD. Thank you for watching. If you would like to do one-on-one recovery program with me, all the information's on youhaveocd.com. You can sign up and book the appointment from there. I'll see you tomorrow.